From the bright lights of the WWE ring to the darkest battles against life-threatening diseases, these superstars have faced challenges beyond the squared circle. Join us as we delve into the inspiring stories of resilience, courage, and triumph over adversity. Roman Reigns initially pursued a career in football before transitioning to professional wrestling. However, at the age of 22, his life took a dramatic turn when he was diagnosed with leukemia, which he described as feeling like a death sentence in an interview with Muscle and Fitness. He said,
"I signed with the Minnesota Vikings for my free agency rookie camp. That was where we had all of our physicals. That's where I got my initial blood work, and that's where I found out, at the time, that I had 70 to 80,000 white blood cells. I had no clue what was going on. They sent me back home, and that was where I was diagnosed with leukemia. For a 22-year-old with the carrots almost in my hand, all of these years of work and convincing myself that this was supposed to be what I was doing, it all slipped out. On top of that, my wife was pregnant. We had our daughter on the way. Everything was falling apart. It felt like a death sentence."
Despite the challenges, Reigns returned to WWE after successfully battling leukemia. Unfortunately, the disease resurfaced in 2018. Showing immense courage and resilience, Reigns returned to the ring for months later, announcing that he was once again in remission from leukemia. Today, Roman Reigns stands as WWE's top star and is widely recognized as the face of the company, showcasing his incredible strength, both in and out of the ring. Triple H, who started with Vince McMahon's company in the mid-1990s, transitioned to a part-time role in recent years. His last match was in January 2021 against Randy Orton. In late 2021, he suffered a cardiac event due to a genetic heart issue. In an interview with ESPN, Triple H detailed his near-death experience. He said,
"My wife saw some blood and stuff that I was coughing up, and I went and got checked, and it was coming from the viral pneumonia, but I had fluid in my lungs. I had some fluid around my heart, so they followed up on it and did an EKG and echo and everything. Basically, the way your heart pumps out 55 to 60% of your ejection fraction is a good number. I was at 30%. I got a quick text message saying, 'Don't take time, pack a bag real quick and head to the emergency room and I'll fill you in on the way.' So, by the time I got to the emergency room, my ejection fraction had gone down to 22%, which, I was in heart failure."
The game underwent surgery that saved his life. However, he announced his retirement from in-ring action, disclosing that he has a defibrillator in his chest. The 52-year-old is now the Executive Vice President of Global Talent Strategy and Development. Brock Lesnar began his wrestling journey in 2000, joining WWE's developmental program before debuting on the main roster in 2002. He left WWE in 2004 and found success in UFC. Amid his MMA career, Lesnar was diagnosed with diverticulitis in 2009, a struggle he detailed in his book, Death Clutch: My Story of Determination, Domination, and Survival. He said,
"The doctors diagnosed me with diverticulitis. I was told I had a hole in my stomach. I was being poisoned from the inside with my own body waste. No wonder I felt like death. The Bismarck doctors knew who I was and what I did for a living. That means they knew that cutting me open would end my career. The doctors made a decision. They said I had 8 hours. If the medication appeared to be working on the infection, they would give me some more time. If it wasn't working, they would be forced to recommend immediate surgery to remove a large chunk of my colon."
Luckily for the former Universal Champion, the medication worked, and he avoided immediate surgery. However, he still had to fight for his life for nearly 11 days.
Brock Lesnar also said although I had avoided immediate surgery, it didn't change the fact that I still had a hole in my stomach, and that it was slowly killing me. I was dying. I spent the next 11 days in the hospital with no food or liquids. All I had was an N4 solution and a ton of pain medication. I was living in a fog, he added in his book.
Lesnar eventually overcame his illness, and in January 2010, he completed his recovery. 2 years later, the Beast Incarnate returned to Vince McMahon's company. He lost the WWE Championship to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 38. Big Show is one of the most famous giants in WWE history. However, like Andre the Giant, White suffered from acromegaly growing up. The rare condition meant the former WWE champion had a tumor on his pituitary gland that produced too much growth hormone. White underwent surgery at 19 for acromegaly, a potentially fatal condition. He discussed his experience in an interview with Hot 97. He said,
"The pituitary gland is located under the front lobe of the brain, so it's basically brain surgery. They have to go in, chip out that little pocket of bone with a laser, cut the tumor, and hopefully not damage the pituitary gland because the pituitary gland runs so many senses, your eye moisture, tear ducts, nasal passages, and your testosterone. It's like a governor for so many things in your body that surgery, sometimes, if not done properly, can damage other things, so then you're on medication the rest of your life just to try and be normal."
White left WWE in February 2021 and joined A shortly after. At 50, he now works as a color commentator and part-time wrestler. He recently won a match against Austin Green on a Dark Elevation. Alexa Bliss, a talented WWE superstar, faced life-threatening struggles with anxiety, depression, and an eating disorder in her youth. At 15, her weight dropped dangerously low, and her heart rate plummeted to 28 beats per minute, putting her on the brink of death. Doctors warned she was 24 hours away from dying, emphasizing the severity of her condition. Despite these challenges, she overcame them and became a champion in the wrestling world.
Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share.